I'm Naseem Ghaif, aka Roxbridge. That is my gaming name, and I feel it's very important that everyone that works in Cybersports League has one, because we are very much for the Razer motto, which is by gamers for gamers. I feel you do have to understand the environment to be able to contribute to it in the right way. So Cybersports League is an idea that me and Kareem have had. Kareem is my partner, aka Bamba, which is Arabic for Pampers, and he's been my partner for the past 3 years in bringing up Cybersports League. But we've had this idea for maybe 6 years. And like ever since we graduated from university, we always said one day we're going to act on it, we're going to try and improve the esports scene in the Middle East. Because we're seeing what's happening in the western part of the world, in Europe, ESL, MLG, some of the top countries and companies, and of course in China and Eastern Asia, huge esports organizations. We'll be honest and say we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're trying to bring what they do and bring it to this region. And we want this region eventually to appeal to them enough for them to come here and face off with some of our best teams in the Middle East.
So we've got a promising esports scene in the Middle East, but unfortunately it's quite fragmented, it's segmented. You've got different tournaments taking place in different countries and different network cafes. There's no sort of infrastructure to bring everything together into one sporting scene. And I think the first step that we're trying to establish at CSL is we're trying to establish a platform for Middle Eastern gamers. We're trying to bridge the gap between different tournaments. We're trying to bring all players and teams onto one platform and to try and keep some sort of consistency. So players can come onto a website, register their teams, and that team can develop. You can track the players' statistics, you can track the team statistics, and that stays on record whether the players move in, move out. And we're also establishing an online environment which allows players to participate in the same tournaments from different countries instead of having to travel around.
So the first trial and tribulation, and the biggest one, is of course Twitch chat. They've given us lots of headaches over these past 2.5 years. But no, honestly, the biggest trial and tribulation of streaming is trying to perfect it, because a lot of people think, all right, I'll get OBS and I can be a streamer, and I can. Yeah, for us it was that simple. It was that naive of us at first, and we thought, yeah, we can get a stream, we can make a stream good. We'll just copy settings. But it actually takes experience. You need to learn from so many small errors we have made in our streams before, and we're not even close to perfection yet, But we're getting there. We're improving our stream day by day, whether it's LAN or online. I don't think there is a difference between LAN and online streaming. For me, it's the same exact process you're going through. It's just the setup on online could be there, like I said, for 6 months straight. Whereas LAN, you have to set it up from scratch, but it's not an issue either. Like, the difficulty is around the same.
So it kind of varies depending on the type of tournament that you're trying to set up. If it's a local knockout tournament, it could take up to a week to set up. Usually you have to announce it a little beforehand to get enough teams on board. If it's an international tournament or even a regional tournament with qualifiers and a grand finals, you'd want to take a little more time. You'd want to take your time sort of promoting it, make sure you get teams on board, give teams the time to establish their rosters, join in, and go through the qualifying stages and then the final stages. If you cram everything into a couple of days and it's a big tournament, usually you could miss out on the enjoyment factor. But if it's a small tournament, let's say up to 8 teams, it could take place over a weekend.
What made us want to bring a Cybersports League here more than anything was ourselves, our own experiences. We participated in tournaments in this region before, and we've been part of the fan base that have been screwed over, and we've also been part of really bad events. Like, they weren't organized right, or they were organized by businessmen, businessmen thinking this is an easy way to make money. And I just felt like that is why we insist on it has to be, you have to have an understanding of gamers. Gamers are they're very unique characters. They're trolls, they're jokey. They don't take themselves too seriously, and they don't like it when organizations do. And we try and appeal to them that way, but at the same time, we do know that if you wrong a gamer once, he never forgets. And we've been stepping on eggshells, making sure that we don't do anything that would have upset us when we were younger, participating in these tournaments. And that's why we wanted to bring an organization where we feel is true to itself.
I mean, I grew up playing a lot of LAN tournaments. I was part of a semi-professional Counter-Strike team growing in the UAE, And LAN tournaments have this absolute hype about them. I can feel the players right now sort of enjoying themselves, and it kind of reminds me of how I used to enjoy it back in the day. There's a thing about it, being around with your friends who are either here to cheer you on or play against you. It's just kind of really like going to a big party and showing off in front of your friends with a touch of sports. So you can see a lot of players being very sportsmanly with each other. A lot of them know each other. It's always nice to see teams from Kuwait come here to say hi to teams from UAE that they've played with against before. So it has that, it brings that sense of culture that you feel in online gaming. It kind of brings it to life in front of you. So that's what's beautiful about LAN.